Hey, welcome to Calgary Basement Sessions. I'm Ben Price.
And I'm Ben Montgomery.
And today we're talking to the Mitch Belot Band. The Mitch Belot Band incorporates a swampy storytelling style and modern rock flair. Mitch hooks audiences with his powerful, smoky voice and gets them on their feet by incorporating fast tempos and heavy grooves into the songs. While the Mitch Belot Band members are first and foremost humble students of blues, they add a taste of rock to the natural, ear-pleasing sound that permeates their repertoire. Mitch, as well as his girlfriend and bandmate Justine, constantly aim to create a memorable and fun atmosphere every time they hit the stage. They easily come together to put forth a cool and interesting new sound that grabs the audience's attention right away. For bigger audiences and events, the two are found playing with 3 other musicians, coming together as a 5-piece band to create a larger sound. The Mitch Belot Band has sold out venues locally in Calgary and across Canada, as well as festivals in Alberta, including Glowfest and Waynestock. The Mitch Belot Band was also nominated for Best Musical Act in Best of Calgary 2020.
Scared to close my eyes, don't know what I'll see. She's beautiful and wise, and she sees right through me. I've got to let it go, and don't bite the hand that feeds. Don't talk about what you don't know. No, 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 it's such a goddamn tease. Or do you love me the way that I love you? And do you need me every time that I need you? There's no time to wait. That the wind is always blowing and the sky is always dancing around the flames, swallowing me whole. There's a picture on the wall, babe, that isn't there no more. I looked into her eyes, the feeling slipped away. I think I lose my mind, yeah, yeah, a little more every day. Oh, do you love me the way that I love you? And do you need me every time that I need? There's no time to wait, and as the wind is always blowing and the sky is always There's a north sun still rising, and that the wind is always blowing and the sky is always blue. And that the wind is always blowing and the sky is always blue. Yeah, yeah. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That was
Great.
fantastic. Yeah. So what's
Thanks, guys.
what's the name of that song?
That's it's called Sky Blue. That
Sky
song.
Blue, and that's off your most recent album, yeah.
Yeah, it was our first. It was our only single, I guess, from the record as well. So we came out on Christmas Day.
Christmas Day. Oh, good Christmas present.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, wow. So tell us about the process of this album. Tell us about like how it came about, like the writing process and stuff, and where you recorded it.
Sure. Well, we recorded it at OCL Studios, which is just outside of Calgary, just east of Calgary, near Chestermere.
Nice.
Beautiful studio.
Yeah.
And
Really great.
yeah, exactly. And Josh William, he was our engineer, and we worked with him before, so it was really easy just to spend a little extra money and go there because he knows what we want to sound like and all that. And yeah,
You got like a very Black Keysy sound.
oh, that's very nice of you to say.
Yeah. The first time I heard your stuff, I was like, yeah, like they listen to the Black Keys, like, and everyone loves the Black Keys.
Oh, thanks, man.
They're
Well,
okay.
That means a lot because they're like my absolute favorite band of all time. So
Oh, perfect.
yeah, thanks. But yeah, so the band and I, Justine, the band and I, we all went into the studio and just tried to, because of our budget, we just tried to do it all in one day. So we did 8 songs in one day. Kind of, it wasn't quite live off the floor because we did overdubs later on and stuff like that. But we all played as a band all at the same time and isolated all the instruments so we could just pump it through like a live show, which is really cool. And I'd never done that before, so that was really fun. And yeah, just we're very, like, we pride ourselves on a good live show, and so we figured, we might as well put what we sound like live on a record, but get the best sound quality possible.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun doing this record.
Yeah, I bet it was. Yeah, especially OCL Studios, and I've listened to your record, and it is fantastic. It's beautifully recorded as well.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, like you did a really good job for sure. You said it's Justin.
Josh
And
Josh William is his name.
Josh Gwillian. And you've worked with him before. Have you worked with him on a previous record?
Yeah, so I put out a record in 2015, which was just me at the time, and so I did a lot of the instruments, and we had a couple friends come in and play some stuff as well. But yeah, he is a friend of Michael Bernard Fitzgerald's.
Right.
So he's a big Calgary guy.
Yeah.
And so MBF introduced me to him, and so now Josh and I are good buds, and yeah, it's just like in any work situation, you get to know someone really, really well.
Yeah.
And we know how each other work and stuff like that, so it's easy.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's really, really awesome. Yeah, I've never been to OCL Studios, but I'd love to go. Like we spoke to a few musicians who've mentioned it before, and it's like a musician's wet dream for sure.
Oh man, yeah, 100%. Yeah, you need to go visit if you haven't.
Oh man, yeah.
A great descriptor. Thank you.
Wet dream, I like that.
So tell us about the writing process. Do you both write the songs, or because you have like 3 other musicians that you collaborate with for this project? Do you get them to help you write the songs, or do you bring these songs to the musicians and then just get them to just play what you say really?
Totally, yeah. So Justine is a relatively new addition to the band in the last year and a half or so. So we haven't written any together yet. That's the plan. So yes, but so far it's just been me mostly. Like I'll usually, before Justine was in the band, like the other band members, we got Vincent Bundick, Dylan Goodman, and Nick Goodman, the 2 brothers on rhythm there.
Nice.
And the rhythm section. And so what I usually do is I'll come with a song to them. And then, well, as a band, we jam it as a band, and they usually throw in, they're great musicians as well, so they'll throw in a bunch of really cool ideas, and we'll kind of come up with a big thing. But I'm the one that writes the chord progressions and the lyrics and stuff like that, at least so far.
Yeah. Nice. How did you meet those guys? Did you meet these guys in like the Calgary music scene, or were you just friends with them? Like,
Yeah, that's a good question. It was actually, I got really, really lucky. It was completely organic. Like, Vincent Bundick, our guitar player. So I met him at an open mic, one like total classic, like go to an open mic, you might meet somebody. And I needed a guitar player for a show. And I asked him to help me out. And then he introduced me to our drummer, Dylan. And then Dylan's brother's the bass player. So it was, and we all get along. We're all, they're all good guys. We all, and they're all great musicians. So lucked out.
Match made in heaven.
Exactly.
Well, that's the perfect example of musicians going to a jam night, meeting other musicians. We've talked to so many artists and stuff like that, that say, go to jam nights, you'll meet musicians, and that's a perfect example of, of meeting them, and getting a band together,
Especially in Calgary. There's a lot of open mic nights in Calgary.
Yep.
Top quality ones too, not like, some drunk dad.
Yeah. Not like once
singing Journey again.
Oh, no, again, it's a 50th.
Kill this song.
Oh, jeez.
That does happen.
Yeah. Happens everywhere. So tell us about North by Northeast in Toronto, that experience. Tell us about that. How did you get involved in that?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that question. That's cool. So I actually met Justine in Toronto. So Justine, I was living in Toronto at the time.
Nice.
Yeah, but it was a total fluke. Like it was one of those things where I applied for the festival, and like I was like, it's not gonna happen, But it did. I got the email, which was pretty cool, and I mean they gave me a really silly time slot at a really at a kind of off the beaten path venue, but it's still people showed up. I played it. I think I played, my scheduled time slot was 1:30 in the morning on a Wednesday.
Nice. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the day that I lost my car? Like, are we talking about that one?
Oh.
Might be that one.
I'm sorry, you lost your car?
Hopefully you found your car again.
Well, it's a very long story. Short story is that she picked me up at the airport, and if you've ever been in Pearson, and she parked her car and then forgot where she parked it.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah.
So we were like,
So, like
I was
40
carrying
minutes.
3 guitars and a suitcase,
Oh no.
and it was like
It was like pouring rain too. That
Pouring
Toronto
rain.
kind of flooded that day.
Oh,
it was pretty funny. I was pretty mad at her because she.
You weren't that mad. This was a few years. This was years ago. It was really funny for me. It was.
Yeah,
Yeah, I bet it was.
yeah. So, but I was still, no matter, even the time slot, was a little bit wonky. I was happy to play, and it looks great on a resume too.
There's still a
And I had very nice friends that all showed up and stayed up really late that night. Luckily, I was going to music school at the time, so I had a lot of music friends that were used to staying up that late. So
That's amazing. All right. So you went to music school in Toronto, I'm guessing, yeah?
yes, and that's exactly where I met Justine. So the beautiful voice just doesn't come from.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't finish music school, unfortunately, but Justine did. So she's got the piece of paper to prove it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know.
Far fancier.
And but yeah, no. And then I moved back here, and then I convinced Justine to move here.
Arts degrees are weird in that way, in that you don't really need, the piece of paper to do the work. If you can I have one. I'm not saying that it's not good. I'm just saying you don't need it to do the work. If you're good enough, just do it.
100%.
Yeah,
It's about the experience.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really about the paper.
Yeah, it's like the vocabulary.
Yeah.
Learning how to communicate with other professionals in the industry. That's what I got.
See, had you finished, you would have known that. You could have answered that question.
See, if you finished, you would have been way better.
I like
Yeah. Very eloquent.
Did you guys talk about this?
We talked this morning. We're like, let's gang up on it.
Yeah.
Send memos behind my back.
Oh, jeez. So tell us about your Canadian Music Week and Juno Fest performance as well. I've actually played at Canadian Music Week and I really
nice.
enjoyed it.
Fancy.
Yeah. I was actually I was playing in a band in Glasgow and we got offered to play it, and I really enjoyed it. I think it was fantastic. So tell us about
Scarcely Canadian music.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Tell us about your experience.
Well, I'm glad you guys had a good time. I've done it twice, and the first time was very much like North by Northeast. North by Northeast is cool for the experience, but Canadian Music Week is kind of like a toned down version of it at times.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit more civil. Like
More civil is a good word.
They jam pack everybody into one. How many days is it?
I think it's like 5 days.
Like 5 days. Yeah. So everyone's playing like till 3 o'clock in the morning or something like 5 to 3, and it just doesn't make any sense. So Canadian Music Week, they kind of organize it a little bit better, where everyone's off at like 1 a.m. or something.
Yeah, they usually time it a little bit better. But the first time I went, it was the same thing. I was like the second last band, and because everyone was running late, it was like 3 in the morning. By the time I was done, it was like 3 in the morning. But the second time when we just went, which was a year ago now, last year's.
Was it?
Was it last year's? I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
It was last year's.
It was in May last year.
Was it May?
I can't remember. It was in the spring of last year. And anyways, but we went with the whole band, and the whole band flew out, and that was really cool. And we got a really good time slot at a really cool venue. We played Cherry Cola's in Toronto, which is like right off of Queen Street, and it's like this one. You know, like Toronto has a lot of those really cool one-room bars.
Yes.
Where it's like the long.
They're quite small.
They're small but long, and like.
Yeah.
This one is sick. It's got a like velvet shag on the wall,
and mirrors everywhere, and
a
like
lot of
cool.
Nice.
Wow.
like it's really it's a sick
super cool. It's like a burlesque bar part of the time.
Nice.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Not that day.
Yeah. But we got it was an awesome time slot. It was a bunch of our old buddies showed up. We had the place full. It was really cool. So really cool. Canadian Music Week was really fun, and Toronto's a cool city to hang out in too. I mean,
yeah. That was my first experience of Canada as well, because I've never been to Canada before that experience, and I loved it. That was my first experience of poutine, double doubles, Tim Hortons. It was great.
Double.
Yeah. I was there for 2 weeks. I got so fat. Honestly, I just lived off of poutine.
And poutine and double doubles are what you took away from it.
Yeah, poutine
Great.
double doubles. Yeah.
Wicked.
As you do.
As you do. Yeah, it was fantastic.
That.
What an experience
What a
it was.
story.
What did you play in the band when you went? What's your instrument?
I'm a drummer.
Drummer.
Yeah, drummer. I actually met.
Yeah.
Yeah. I met you
Jumping
briefly.
with Jamie.
Yep. Yeah. I was hitting the wooden box.
I was gonna say I've met you somewhere before.
Yeah.
I was on what was that street one?
It was like just a Stephen Avenue
Stephen
festival.
Ave.
Yeah, Stephen Ave Fest. Aye, and we were wearing kilts.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
were
were.
in kilts.
In cold weather.
Yeah, in cold weather. Yeah, that was Jamie's idea.
That was amazing. I can't believe you did that.
Oh God, well, honestly,
Not if you were in the front row.
just flashing everyone. That's why everyone stopped. They're like, "What?"
This
the
band is good, but I can only take so much. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go watch Mitch.
Geez.
No, that's when I first met Jamie that day.
Yeah, we met Jamie the first time that day. Too.
Both of them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Small world.
Yeah, it's a small world. Yeah,
We've never
definitely
met.
It's okay.
You've met
We
Jamie.
become best friends.
You've met Jamie. You know
No, I
Jamie.
met that.
Yeah. So, due to coronavirus, you're now doing Tunes Tuesdays on your YouTube channel. Our favorite
Which sounds like garbage coming out of his
Tune
mouth.
Tuesdays. You're
Tune Tuesdays.
You're horrible to me.
Yeah, I know.
Our favourite is Fleetwood Mac, the Chain, that cover. That was fantastic. Yeah, that was fantastic. So what made you decide to do that?
Yeah, we're talking about a little bit before, but we were just, we're trying to find another way to be creative through all this stuff. We're not playing any shows really. Like we've done a couple cool
Pretty sure it was my idea.
I'm pretty sure it was Justine's idea. We decided it was kind of a plan that we had for a while, and then coronavirus kind of was like, okay, let's just do it now.
Uh-huh.
And
we were going to do it
yeah,
already, but
it forced our hand.
Our tour
Yeah.
was put on hold.
Yeah, we were planning a big summer tour. We bought a van, and everything.
No way. Wow.
Yeah, a big orange van.
Nice.
It's pretty sweet.
Is it parked out front? Is that the one that's going to get the tickets in?
I had to
So
move
we
it.
got to wrap this up. They got to go move the van, or they're gonna get a ticket.
Yeah,
Every
seriously.
2 hours.
Every 2 hours moving it around. It's parked in front of someone else's house right now.
All right.
So I hope they don't mind. But yeah, so we decided to do the Tunes Tuesday thing, and so far it's only been covers that we've done. And one of the things too is that we find when we play a lot of shows, our repertoire stays the same because you just have the same,
I know.
rotating the same set list kind of deal. And we wanted to change it up and have an outlet, maybe some new cover tunes that we just throw in with our originals, you know?
Yeah.
More exciting. I feel like if you're recycling the same stuff over and over, sometimes you get bored.
It's stale.
You get stale.
Yeah, you know, I understand. Yeah. Well, no, you did that Dua Lipa cover as well. You know, like so you're mixing it up. Yeah, you're mixing it up a bit, man.
We're trying to branch out a bit. Yeah, that's the plan. We're also we're gonna try and write some new original tunes, like use it as a reason to write some new songs and kind of share them on Tunes Tuesday as well is kind of our plan. We haven't done that yet, but that's the plan anyways.
Fantastic. Well, that's really, really great. Well, it's a great idea for sure, and we've enjoyed the videos, you know. And
oh, thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, you both have beautiful voices, great guitar playing. Yeah, so it's if you haven't checked it out, go check out.
Nice backdrop.
Yeah, nice backdrop. Go check
Good
out
lighting.
Tune Tuesdays.
Tune Tuesdays.
Hashtag.
Well, it's put to get hashtag Tune Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I guess.
Now we checked out your music video for your song "The River."
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Tell us about that. How did everyone?
Dangerous.
Yeah, it seemed very dangerous. How did everyone get? How did the whole band get out into that wee raft?
Yeah.
Very carefully.
I love telling that story, so I'm glad you asked. But there's a company that through TELUS called Story Hive that so they fund a lot of film. They fund film projects, and we won you have to kind of put in a pitch and then they pick you kind of deal.
Nice.
And we won the pitch to make a music video, and so they gave us like $10,000 to make a music video.
Wow.
And it was crazy. And it's amazing how quickly $10,000 sounds like a lot. It's amazing how quickly it disappears.
Yes, I know. Yeah, especially after a few drinks as well.
100%.
And buying a raft.
Yeah.
Seriously. Actually, it's crazy. We had our director, his name was Seth Williams, and he lives out in Canmore. And so he's the one that got it all together. But him and his buddies made the raft, bought the wood and the materials, made it, and then tested it. And it worked.
Good.
So, yeah. And
That would have been hilarious.
it was funny. Yeah, so that would have been so just immediate.
Instruments all in the river.
Yeah, that would have been bad. It would have made a good music video, though.
That'd be awesome.
Pretty short.
Maybe. Yeah, pretty
Quite short.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Blooper reel, yeah. Yes, but anyway, so we just went out and we just booked 2 days out in Canmore. We found this little area that.
I'm sorry, you had to book time on the river?
No, that sounded like it was something different. But no, we didn't book. We booked time with each other, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, we kind of found this little area that you're not supposed to film in, but we already filmed it. It's already a couple of years old, so no one can stop us now.
Right.
But we
All of a sudden it gets taken down.
Oh my god.
We're not famous enough for that. It was we had a great day. My brother was there too, so it was fun to have family involved, and we hired not a real lifeguard. We hired a guy from Canmore who's had good swimming skills, so he was lifeguard Chris, and
sounds like he could have definitely saved you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's legit for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. You know all the moonshine we're drinking in the video.
Yeah.
The one scene where we're drinking and tossing it around and stuff. We don't want to waste good stuff on, so that was water. But on the raft, if you see on the raft, there's this big jug of clear liquid, and that was real moonshine because lifeguard Chris brought it with him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The lifeguard.
Lifeguard Chris sounds legit.
Wow. There was actually two bottles. He just gave you one.
Exactly. Yeah. And so we were hammered for 2 days.
Jeez.
And it was so much. It was so much fun. And there's one last scene where we're standing in the river and it was pouring rain, and we lost a $4,000 drone at one point.
Oh,
you lost it. Oh god.
That's okay. It was an accident.
Oh.
It wasn't our fault.
Oh jeez. How did you manage that? How did you manage to lose that?
Well, basically, there's this
partner up with us.
Well, she picked him up from the airport.
Yeah,
she
forgot where she
parked
the
it and then
drone.
forgot it. Yeah.
So let me preface. So a guy who was friends with Seth brought his own drone, and he was piloting it, taking shots of us on the river kind of deal. And he was like, "Oh, I got a little bit of battery left. I'll take one more shot." And it went into home mode in front of the raft, which means it goes close to the ground and then shoots straight up into the air. Mm-hmm. So it went close to the ground, but then when you get too close to the water, it can't create lift, so it sucked itself into the river.
Oh no!
And it was It wasn't good.
Oh.
It's still at the bottom of the river somewhere.
Oh God. Well, we need to go to Canmore and get a free
Yeah,
drone.
I'm sure it's still in working order. Yeah.
You guys want to take some scuba gear and go in there?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's also a river current.
That's all right. We're good swimmers.
It's not- I am not.
Heavy, it might
We'll call lifeguard Chris.
We'll call the lifeguard Chris.
He'll help us fish it out.
Exactly.
Jeez.
It was a great time. We had an awesome time.
Yeah. Wow. So tell us about your favorite show, because you've played a lot of shows in Toronto and Calgary and stuff like that. So tell us about your most memorable show that you've played.
Sure. What's yours? You go first.
Oh my gosh.
Put you on the spot.
We did this last time, and I still. Okay, well, here's the thing. But I've played a lot of shows, and eventually they all become one blur.
One big blur.
So
I agree.
I would say a gig that I really, really loved.
Go for it.
I used to play in this country band. I'm not a country fan per se, but they pay really well.
Right.
Especially in Calgary.
Well, this is in Toronto.
actually.
Oh.
Really? Okay.
Oh.
So
Okay.
they're more rare there, and so they pay even more.
Wow.
So if you're ever in Toronto, do country. No, I'm just kidding. And we used to play in these clubs that would sell out to like 600 or 700 people on some nights, and it was the best crowd ever that I've ever played to, because they're super engaged.
Hammered.
There may not be 1 or 2 fights per night, but it's a really, really fun time. People like surf the crowd and everything like that. So
Wow.
those are my favorite gigs, but I couldn't pinpoint a show that I don't know.
Yeah, but that's a good answer. I feel.
When you do gigs so much,
Mhm.
it's hard to. I mean, for me,
That's true.
unless we're opening for Foo Fighters or something, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Humble brag there.
Yeah.
I can't pinpoint when we work so much. It's different question. What else you got?
That's funny.
Yeah.
I guess for me, we got a couple summers ago. We got to open for Trooper, and that was really, really cool.
Wicked.
Wow.
Like, yeah, that was pretty sweet. That like Canadian classic rock band. You hear their music everywhere.
Where was that?
There's this. They call it Parkland Summerfest.
Okay.
Nice.
And it's in Parkland, the neighborhood in Calgary,
That makes
on
sense.
the lake, close to the lake there, and they put on this. The neighborhood puts on this big festival every summer.
Wow.
So they got Trooper down there, and so it was like us, the Static Shift, and Trooper, which was like super fun.
That's awesome.
That's insane.
Good dude.
Yeah, they're great dudes and great musicians too. So it was that was like probably like the pinnacle gig. I think was really, really fun. And then this summer too, we had a really good festival run this summer. We had a lot of really cool festivals,
Yeah.
Last summer,
like cool venues. What?
Last summer, you mean?
This past one, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Kaleido Festival and like Carnival Festival. And
Yeah, we were so busy.
it was busy. It was fun. I felt like a real touring musician this summer.
That's
which is-
fantastic. Yeah, well, that's great. That's really really awesome, man.
Thanks.
So before we finish,
Yeah,
can you let people know where they can find you on social media?
totally. Well, it helps that we're the only Mitch Belot Band on the internet. So if you Google
For
us,
now.
For now.
pops up. Yeah, so nobody go stealing my name.
Oh.
So the only one on the internet. We're on iTunes and Spotify, the whole deal. You can find us on any social media, Instagram, Facebook, and now YouTube as well. Tunes Tuesday.
Well, yeah.
Hashtag Toon Tuesday. And you're on Bandcamp as well.
Yes, I don't know how well curated that is, but it's.
But we're there.
Yeah, we're there.
Yeah, Bandcamp, Spotify, iTunes, all that good stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all of that.
All the things.
Fantastic.
Fabulous.
So, do you want to play us off with a tune?
We know it's Thursday, Wednesday. What day is it?
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. But will you
Wednesday.
play us a tune?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, wait,
I don't know what day it is.
is it actually?
It's all just mashed into
It's
one.
all one big day. I have nothing going on besides
During
talking to Mitch.
COVID-19, I've lost complete.
The
Yeah.
only days I know are Tuesdays because
You have to put out a tune.
Yeah.
video, but
Yeah.
Do you actually film it on Tuesday?
No, we film it usually. We try to do it on Saturdays, and then if we don't do it on Saturdays, then we do it on Sundays. Not Sunday. It's usually Monday.
Saturdays
Monday
is
night.
never-
Oh, the day before.
Tune Tuesdays is a
Exclusive.
lie.
we have to film today.
Yeah.
and then we just like stay on the couch or, or do other things because, you know.
And you're still working. What else do you do? How are you still working?
Well, I'm
This is
more boring than music, but I'm in marketing, so I work from home anyways.
nice. So no change.
Yeah, for a company in Toronto, so
Just me here all the time. Now.
Yeah, home constantly, which is so great, you guys.
I love it.
I know it's so great. No, it's actually. No, it's really nice having you home, actually.
Okay, well, that's nice of you to say and lie to everybody.
Oh,
It's for the podcast.
yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Just put on a face.
All right.
Yep.
Well, it's been nice talking to you today. Can't wait to have you in our basement actually playing a song. And yeah. Can't wait to hear what you've got for us now.
Oh, thank you. And we can't wait to do that as well. Thank you guys for chatting with us. You want to do All for Nothing? Okay. Well, this is the title track off of our most recent record. So it's called All for Nothing.
Amazing.
I got a letter in my pocket saying you're the only one who loves me like you do, baby. Yeah, well, don't you jump the gun, girl. I'm not having any fun, girl. No, no, no. You're gonna save me. Yeah, you're gonna save me from myself. This is hell I'm living in. Yeah, you're gonna save me. Yeah, you're gonna save me from myself. It's worth it, even though it's hard to tell. No, 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 I'm walking 4 days. I'm walking 4 days to an early grave. This engine's running all for nothing. I'm walking 4 days, man. I'm walking 4 days on the bone legs. I'm still hoping, yeah, all for nothing, yeah. I got this feeling like I'm sitting right up on the moon, girl, and you're there too, baby. Yeah, well, don't you leave me stranded. I don't think I can handle it. No, 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 no. You're gonna save me. Yeah, you're gonna save me from myself. This is hell I'm living in. Yeah, you're gonna save me. Yeah, you're gonna save me from myself. It's worth it, even though it's hard to tell. No, 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 I'm walking 4 days. I'm walking 4 days to an early grave. This engine's running all for nothing. I'm walking 4 days, man. I'm walking 4 days out of bone legs. I'm still hoping, yeah, all for nothing, yeah. I'm not so hard to love. Yeah, sure you tell me. I'm screaming out, oh, do you hear me? I need an answer, yeah, I'm only one. Gotta be close. Yeah. I'm walking 4 days. I'm walking 4 days to an early grave. This engine's running all for nothing. I'm walking 4 days, man. I'm walking 4 days out of bone legs. I'm still hoping, yeah, all for nothing.
Thank you for tuning in to Calgary Basement Sessions.
If you like the content, don't forget to like and subscribe. That really helps us out.
And please follow us on social media on Facebook and Instagram at YYC Basement Sessions.